because there's no gatekeepers on social, and if you have a good profile, you should be able to go to the people direct.
Welcome back, all my followers. Great to have you with me. And again, great to have Tim Hughes with me.
Hi John, it's a wonderful day, as usual in Sydney.
As usual in Sydney. Hey, we've had a number of discussions around social selling and going higher, faster, and the brand you need and so on. And a few times you've talked about it compared to cold calling.
Cold calling, yeah.
And you've mentioned the word efficiency.
Yes, and effectiveness.
And effectiveness.
Yeah.
Now, I'd like to drill down on those words and effectiveness of social selling and so on, and compare it to. I know you've got good comparisons with with cold calling.
Yes.
So let's drill down.
When I first started selling and I was cold calling, we would call it panning for gold, which is you're putting gravel into a pan and you're trying to find that one nugget of gold. So there was a guy that was on a Facebook group recently who said that what he was doing from a prospecting perspective was that he spent Friday afternoons and Monday mornings building up a list of 100 names, and he was researching the telephone numbers and email addresses, which is fine, good use of outside the prime selling time. His next question was, of the 100 people that he cold emailed, he got 4 opens. That wasn't 4 people that bought, it's just 4 people that opened out of
not even in the pipeline yet.
Yeah. And so 4% out of the 100. He was also asking questions about how many times he needed to call people. After he sent the emails, he would call. So, 2, 3 or 4 times, which obviously meant, I don't know how many people he was getting through to, but obviously he wasn't getting. Now, my argument here is that from a social perspective, you should be able to find within, by using something like Sales Navigator, rather than having to look at that list of 100, you'd be actually able to go down and look at the 9, the 10, the 8 that you actually needed to talk to. And then, as we've discussed in the previous videos, is actually then go to them directly through social. And if you've got a strong profile, let's call it a strong profile rather than a personal brand, you should be able to go straight to those people and have a conversation with them, a business conversation.
Now, still on social.
Yeah, on social, yeah. And I see that as a more efficient way of working rather than starting off with 100 and hoping to actually get down to the 10 and hoping to have those conversations. Now, as we've talked about earlier on, because there's no gatekeepers on social, and if you have a good profile, you should be able to go to the people direct, rather than having to make 2, 3, 4 or whatever calls.
Give me some numbers. So you're talking about the case before of the person looking at the 100 they were going to target, sending emails out, getting 4 open, and then probably following that with phone calls and maybe some social activity as well, and so on and so forth. So, the whole combination of the different channels trying to get to that person. And, a lot of people talk about the fact you need to go 5, 6, 7 up to 12 or 13 touches before you get somebody talking to you. You're comparing that to social. Give me the numbers in social. So,
well, you should be able to go straight to if you're using Sales Navigator, rather than having to go through your list and filter it down, and hopefully that you'll find those 10 people that you think you can speak to. Using Sales Navigator, you should be able to go straight to those 10.
So how many of those 10s in your experience then?
If you've got a strong profile and you understand how that you want to connect and do it in a way which offers a business conversation, then why shouldn't all 10 of those people actually connect with you and actually want to have a conversation?
You're saying should, but let's talk reality here.
It could be 9, it could be 8, but if I do 1, I'm still better than you.
But you're dealing with companies and implementing social selling in companies right now. What are you seeing companies achieve?
We're seeing companies achieve. Recently, somebody sent out 8 connections. And they got 3 conversations, and one of those turned into $1 million deal.
Okay, and is that typical?
Yes, absolutely. Why you should be able to replicate that across your organisation.
And we're really saying you probably have to research and get 100 people in cold calling or warm calling or whatever you want to call it before you actually get somebody.
Yeah, so
through a process. So you're talking about massive difference.
Well, yes, because one of the things that one organisation came to us. They sell interiors of cars, and they said what we're trying to do is that currently we're cold calling people, trying to find the people the buyers that will look at interiors of cars. We've sent 250 emails and got nothing. I wasn't surprised. Mm-hmm. And we went onto Sales Navigator and we found that 8 people in the world that actually are buyers for car interiors. So that cut down all of the cold emails, and all of the cold calling that they've been doing, and all the in-mail spamming that they've been wasting their time on, and said, here's the 8 people. The next thing we did was that we worked on their personal brands, made sure that they look that they have their proper business people and there's a business-to-business connection, and they went and connected with those people.
And they'll help those buyers doing what they do.
Absolutely, yeah. And that is a far more, it's not just effective, but far more efficient way of selling from a B2B enterprise perspective than just trying to find and throw mud at the wall and hoping it will stick.
Okay, well, yeah, you've heard Tim on it. This reminds me of Joanne Black talking about referral selling, where you basically get close up to 100%.
Yes.
Of the people you want to get to.
Yes.
You're really saying the same sort of thing. So I think we need to put a challenge out here and really get into dialogue, because they're almost unbelievable, efficiency type numbers you're talking about. So let's have a dialogue. Question this guy.
Please do.
What Tim is saying is true. I'm sure it's true from your point of view, but it really does work efficiently from that point of view.
Yes.
Hey, we all need to know about it.